Hello guys, welcome to my channel tutorials with DJ engineering drawing. Now if you have missed our previous videos and would like me to go back and watch it, or you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd like you to also subscribe and leave your notification button on so that you'll be notified when I drop my next video. Now today we are going to be working on this block you are seeing right here. I'm going to explain how it is done.
Okay guys, for this assignment I'm going to be helping you guys out. I'm going to be starting with this one. Seeing a block like this, a question like this, all you need is just a horizontal line that will put this object and this object in a parallel position, so that where this waypoint A is will be the same as waypoint C will be. Waypoint B is the same as waypoint D will be. So let's begin. First of all, make a thick line. You can call it the construction line. Get your compass. You have to get a parallel line because the objects are not supposed to touch. The two objects are not supposed to touch, so you need to space them. I'm going to choose 10 cm apart from this line. The object is going to be 10 cm apart from this line, so let's measure 10. Please, if you haven't watched my previous video, I showed you how to calibrate a metric rule and how to make your readings. Please go and watch it. Okay, make an arc at any 2 points. Make an arc. Now join this arc to this arc tangentially. You have to be very careful. You have to touch at the tangent, if not it will give you an error at some point. Okay, now this time around you use fence line. Same thing here, join it tangentially. Fence line. Okay, now in dimensioning you are to choose the length of your object. So I'm going to choose from my C to my D. I'm going to choose 100 millimeter. So go to any point on this fence line and pick 2 points, the distance of 100 millimeter. This ruler is calibrated in cm. So here, if you are using cm, it's 10 cm. If you are using millimeter, it's 100 millimeter. Okay. Now get your set square. Align it very well. Then draw a vertical line to pass through the first point. Do the same for the second point. Make sure it overlaps. Okay, you can extend it. Make sure you're using fence lines. Okay, now vertically we are going to choose the height of D, which should be the same as that of point C. Choose that of B as well, and we choose that of A. So I'm going to, from my, this is my point C, and this is my D, this is my A, and this is my B. So from point C, get a vertical line upward, pick a point, that is, I want mine to be 20 millimeter, that is 2 cm. I outline it from the fence line I did already. Outline it. Okay. Now you can join it. Let's measure and see whether it will give us 100 millimeter from this point. Exactly, it gives us 100 millimeter. That is why I followed this principle. This principle will guide you to get a vertical and horizontal line which is 90 degrees to each other without having to use T-square. Okay, let's do it for the one below. From point A, I want mine to be 40 millimeter. Okay. Now if you measure it with your ruler, if your work is good, you see that it will give you the same 100 millimeter just as mine. So I join mine. In dimensioning, your foundation is very necessary. Okay, from the 20 millimeter point, you are going to get a circle of this nature. Now look at this, the circle is not touching this point, it's not touching this border, it's not touching this border, it's not touching this border, it's on its own. So we are going to get a radius that will not touch any of this. Remember, from here to here is 20, and this is the center of our circle, so we need to get a smaller radius. Let's use, I'm going to use 15. From 0, 10, 15. There we go. Remember, I told you to tight your compass very well so that the knots won't disappoint you. Okay, when you are drawing a circle, I'd advise you use a thick line at once so that you won't have to have a double curve. But that is it for our first circle. Now for our circle 2. To get circle 2, you need to get circle 3 first. The first smaller circle, let's say 15. The center of a small circle, 15 from this other point, 15 millimeter. And I'm going to take 7 for my circle. Measure 7 on your ruler. 0.7. 0.7, that's right. Okay, we're making our circle. When you are making a small circle, you need to be very careful because the compass is now turned to be tricky. Whoa, see what I said? Okay, we have our circle 3. Now for our circle 2, from the center of circle 3, measure, I'm going to measure 25. That's right. Now with the same radius, remember the circle look alike, so we use the same radius. Same radius I use for this circle, I'm going to use for this one, without altering my compass. I'll be more careful now. Okay. Now to get these lines, these lines are projections from this circle, from these holes. They are projections, so we are going to project these circles upward vertically. And what do we need? Our set square. Don't attempt to use your ruler. Okay, now from this point, first of all, we project our centers first with a center line. Center line, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short. Okay, do that for circle 2. Okay, long, short, short, long, short, short, long, short, short. Same for this one. Okay, now you have our center lines, so we are going to project our hidden lines. I'm going to project these lines from the circle to meet with these ones. Now you can either use the method I showed you just now, or you take the measurement from here, from the center to the circumference. Measure from the center here to any point here. Just take the same measurement, then you join the line. Let's try that. This was 15. Yeah, 15. Okay, 15 is the other way. Either way will still give you the correct thing. Here you use broken lines, which are thick, not faint, broken lines. Now we have that for our big circle. Now for our small circle, this is what I was saying. You can either project it or you use my method. Let's project it. Now this method will make you spend a lot of time, so I advise you use my method. Okay, but either ways is still correct. If you're in an exam situation, you need to follow my method. This was 7 cm. Just measure 7 cm here. You see, this one doesn't take time. But both is still correct. Still correct. 7 7. So measure from this point 7 7. Okay. Okay, and we are done with our drawing. Now what is remaining is also outline the important things. The important things are these borders. Follow me as we do it. Make sure you don't have double lines. Okay. Sorry. Okay, we are 90% done, remaining 10%. The 10% is the topic of what we are supposed to do, which is dimensioning. We are going to learn how to dimension. Before you dimension, you have to measure. Okay guys, we are 90% done with this number 1. So the 10% remaining is the dimension. It's a kind of the main part of what's of the assignments. We are going to measure everything we did. Remember, we choose our measurement. We're going to measure everything and then we're going to label it. Now to label it, there are rules we need to follow. And the most important rule is that all of your dimensions are going to be 5 millimeters away from your work. 5 millimeters away from your work. You need to have eraser close by to erase some things so that your work will be neat. Okay. First of all, we're going to dimension our holes. just make your ruler pass through the center of this circle. Now from this other circumference, draw a line to pass through this other circumference out of the drawing. Now you employ an arrowhead. Okay. Now with the horizontal line, you label it. This sign is called diameter. What was the measurement we used? 30. Diameter 30. Now as you have measured this diameter, as you have labeled this part diameter 30, you cannot dimension this other part again, because they are the same. From this part to this part, you can't dimension it again. 30 millimeter. If not, it is wrong. The dimension for that hole is wrong. So either you dimension this other part or you dimension here. Pick one out of the two. Now another way you can dimension a circle is let your ruler pass through the center. Then from the center, draw a line that touches the circumference outside the drawing. Now employ an arrowhead, just one. Another horizontal line. Now you label it radius. What was the radius we use? Radius 7. Either you do it this way or you do it this way. One of the two. You don't do the two at the same time. Now you can also join this to save time. If they are the same, join it. Employ an arrowhead, but you have to indicate that there are two in a bracket. Now we are done for this side. Now for this height here, our distance was 40 millimeter. So put your ruler. Your dimension must be 5 cm away from your drawing. At least 5 cm away. Okay. Now draw a line. Stop at the center. Continue. Employ your arrowhead. Then you dimension 40. In engineering drawing, here we use our dimensions in millimeter, all of it. So there's no need to indicate millimeter or centimeter. So just write 40 in millimeters. Now we are also going to indicate the half distance we use here, which is 20 millimeter. Remember 5 cm away from your drawing. Okay, same thing, draw it halfway and continue. Your arrowhead, then you label it 20. Now the height here was 20. Before that, remember, as you have measured from this point to this point 40, you cannot measure here 40 again. If not, your dimensioning is wrong. So either you choose to measure this part or you choose to measure this part, one out of the two. So may I choose this part. You have to be 5 cm away from your work. Very, very important. $20 mm. Okay. Now we are going to locate the distance of the center of our circle from this point and from this point. Now for this one, since there's nothing here, nothing obstructing here, we are going to measure it from here. You can either do it here or here, but I'll choose to do mine here. And from this center, I align my ruler very well from the center of the circle. Now 5 cm away from my work, make a small line. Then at this other end, 5 cm away from my drawing. Okay. Draw it halfway and continue. Employ your arrowhead. Then it was 20, right? 20. Let's confirm that. 20, exactly. We can't do the same thing here because of these dimensions. So we are going to take it up here. It was 15, that's right. 5 cm. Five cm. Then draw it halfway, 15. Exactly. Now from this other center, we are going to measure for this other center as well. Five cm away from your drawing. Very, very necessary. Don't forget that. It's one of the rules, the most important rule at that in dimensioning. What was our measurement? It was 25. Employ your arrowhead. Now one thing is remaining, the whole length of the work. This is 5, 10. Add another one to this 5, that is 10. 5, 10. Just take 10 cm, just take it 10 cm away from your work. Now you join it from the origin to the center, then you continue. What was our length? 100 mm. 100 mm. Now your dimensions, look at the way I'm dimensioning my work. I'm dimensioning my work at the center, at the center. You don't need to dimension it at the end of your line or at the beginning of your line. It has to be at the center to make your work look neat. And we are done for this number 1. You can decide to clean this off, no problem. No problem.
Alright guys, if you love this video, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button below, share it to your friends, and leave your comment on the comment section below.